Hey, welcome back to episode 2 of my vlog, I don't know, devlog series, who knows. Um, yeah, I've changed spaces, I don't know, just testing this area out. Kind of liked my kitchen, but sometimes the lighting's a little inconsistent, to say the least. One thing that I mentioned before was that this channel is mainly for self-improvement, to keep myself accountable, but also to push myself to do more. One thing was that I'd be signing up for some volunteering. So yeah, I've completed my application for Big Brothers and Big Sisters in my city. It's something I've wanted to do for a while, and of course procrastinated, kept putting it off, thought I wasn't good enough, a lot of stuff like that. The whole process was pretty easy, actually. They make it nice enough that you can just save your form if you need to go get something and, fill it in later. The other thing was that I am doing this because I deeply needed this when I was younger. Something that I yearned for, being the youngest of 4, was that I wanted a guiding hand, and any adult would have been nice, but this isn't a therapy channel, so we're not going to get into that. That was the other thing. I am trying to catch myself saying a lot. So on to the next thing. I talked about also improving my health. That's something that I've done a lot up until recently, just because I've felt it. I am pushing 40, and there are times, actually a lot of times, that I feel it in my body, and that is scary, as well as wishing things were different, because maybe I should have ran less when I was younger. Maybe I should have stretched more or taken it easy on more days than I should have. And there aren't a lot of things we can do now that we're past that point. So I am pushing myself, but also making sure I take care of myself. One book that I'm reading is called A Physical Education by Casey Johnston. It caught my eye when she popped up on a podcast, and it hooked me because a lot of my time exercising has been centered too often around needing to look a certain way. I don't know if that's only because of being a male in the social media age, but also my history in the military, getting through that machismo that we were so exposed to, that we're so often exposed to. It's not so much wanting to look a certain way, it's wanting my body to feel a certain way. And that should have been my goal from the start, because now I'm feeling it a lot more. My body is screaming at me at my advanced age. So yeah, it's become a new exercise, not only in my body, but my mind, and listening to it. And speaking of mind exercises, I am currently done with at least one big tutorial that I started with Unreal Engine, something that I've been really passionate about, and it made me really happy. But when I reformatted my computer, I forgot to save those notes. That's on me, obviously. Should have put it in the cloud or something. Should have used something more online. And it took a lot of wind out of my sails, and that kind of took me back as far as thinking I needed to complete those tutorials, given it was really helpful and it actually gave me a head start on figuring out what I'm wanting to make. And now I am starting a project. It's something that I'm just working on as a small game that, with the advice of many people I've taken, or at least online, people that I've seen, they say to start small. And that's what I'm doing. It's just a little level, a little demo. I'm mainly going to use it as a jumping, or using it as a springboard to see if my concept is fun. And that's kind of the point. There are many games out there and the market's flooded. The one thing I do want to emphasize is it fun? For myself, honestly. That's what really drove me to do this, is wanting to make something that I am missing. And that's always been there in my life since I was a kid. I recently talked to some friends, and they got on a subject that reminded me of what I used to do, and one of the first computer games I got was like a Simpsons scene maker, where you can make your own Simpsons episodes, and they just gave you a bunch of assets. And that's where I learned to mess with timelines and editing and video stuff, as I think I was at least 8 or 9. I was already into computers back then. And now I'm, happy doing video production and making video games, and that's kind of what drives me. At the end of the day, I'm thinking about it. Before I go to bed, I'm thinking of ideas, and I am sad when I don't write them down, because sometimes, something dawns on me. I'm like, oh, I should put that mechanic, or I should think about adding this to it that'll just make it fun or funny. And that's just something that drives me right now. And I'm just going to pursue it, even if a lot of times I want to talk myself down from it and say you shouldn't, or say that it's not going to go anywhere. Obviously, that voice is always going to be there, but this is something that I want to exercise mentally as well, is the resistance to that, or at least to listen to the other side of the coin, which is you should try it. You should attempt something that might fail, because you're going to grow anyways. You're going to learn something. And yeah, it's obviously not easy, but I think this will be a good challenge. And I'll be making sure to document it all. Thanks for being here for episode 2. Thanks for watching, anyone. Hopefully I'll get better at this, and the production level and stuff might change. Thanks.